Whenever I define virginity or chastity, I really like to look at it three-dimensionally. I like to look at it as one of the dimensions is our physical bodies, so that we are choosing not to have sexual intercourse. We're choosing not to have sex. But then I think it's important to look at chastity as a mental thing too, where we're looking at why do we want to be uncontaminated? What is it that's driving us and helping us really think through that we want to follow abstinence as a single person? And what about the heart dimension and yearning for someone to be there for us and to with us for a lifetime together? And so the story I like to tell, because people will say, well, that's a real, and I know it's a complex concept, but I say, you know, chastity isn't really rocket science. I said it comes down simply to being, you know, in a simple way, it's just, I am going to wait for my Adam or my Eve and not have sex with anyone else. Now, I remember more than one of my clients, one of my friends that are trying to sort this out, thought, gosh, with millions of women, they should be able to sample 3 or 4 of them as a guy. Nope. Chastity, monogamy, one marriage, covenant monogamy, waiting for that covenant mate of yours, is one woman and one man is looking at, I am waiting for my Eve as a man, I am waiting for my Adam as a woman. The story I like to give again is that, so Bill is dating Tiffany. And Bill and Tiffany are really excited about their relationship, and it's growing, and Bill and Tiffany actually get engaged and they're thinking about marriage, and all of a sudden Bill says to Tiffany one day, I've been thinking about it, and I feel like God's call on my life is to be a missionary, and probably in Central America, maybe to Guatemala. I took a short-term mission trip. I just can't get that out of my heart and my mind. I feel like God's calling me to be a missionary. And Tiffany says to Bill, oh, Bill, I am so sad because I love you, and there's a lot of tears and angry talking and a lot of processing. But Tiffany finally breaks up with Bill and says, I just do not feel a call to be a missionary. And so Tiffany starts dating Kirk, and Kirk and Tiffany are engaged, and a few weeks before the marriage, before their wedding, as they're thinking through all the logistics and everything in that last month or two, Kirk says to Tiffany, I'm going to invite Bill to the wedding. I'm going to invite Bill to the wedding. And Tiffany says, my ex-boyfriend? I'm sorry, I don't think so. But she's kind of curious, and she says, Kirk, tell me why you would invite Bill to the wedding. And Kirk says, because Bill dated you as if you weren't his wife, but he dated you with real soul virginity, 3D, and you are a much better woman, Tiffany, for having dated Bill, even sexually. I mean, I could shoot him for the making out you did and the kissing and the caressing and whatever. That really bugs me, but I've forgiven him for that because I realized that he treated you not as his possession, not as his Eve, but as his Eve-to-be. And I just think that that is so much integrity, and I admire the man. I'd like to shake his hand. So that to me would be three-dimensional soul virginity, would be the idea that when we're dating someone, we are going to treat them like they're someone else's mate. We're going to treat them the way we would want our mates to be treated if they were dating someone else. And we're really going to think through with integrity our sexuality so that it does, in a three-dimensional way, we keep it where we need it to be. That it's not just some magic of, I'm going to try to not have intercourse and we're never going to have penis and vagina. No, I think that's technical virginity. Real three-dimensional soul virginity is we keep our bodies pure, but we also keep in mind the whole concept of mental purity and really honoring someone else's Eve, someone else's Adam. So that sometimes I've seen people say, well, I'm trying to do that, and they're engaging, they're maybe not kissing till their wedding day, but they're engaging in everything but intercourse. And so I see a lot of hypocrisy at times if we don't have that three-dimensional virginity where we really say, this is not my Adam, this is not my Eve, and I am not going to engage in sexual behavior, activity, or thoughts that could damage someone else's Eve and Adam, and I am going to keep this growing till my wedding night when we choose to have sex. So Three-dimensional virginity, not rocket science, is waiting for your Adam or waiting for your Eve.